I met my boyfriend's ex, and I want them back together. I've been with my boyfriend Danny for nearly a year now. He never talks about his ex-wife Mare, like ever. The only thing I know about her is they have a 5-year-old son named Ian who Danny visits every weekend or brings back to his apartment. Last month, Ian graduated from daycare. Mare invited Danny to a celebration dinner because Ian specifically asked for his dad to be there. Danny asked me to come along. I hesitated at first because meeting the ex-wife felt awkward, but he kept insisting it would be fine. Saturday came, and we drove to Mare's house. The whole way there, my stomach was in knots. I kept imagining this nightmare scenario where she'd be cold or make passive-aggressive comments about me being the new girlfriend. But the moment she opened the door, all my fears melted away. Mare welcomed us with the warmest smile. She was casual, genuinely polite, and immediately introduced me to Ian like it was the most natural thing in the world. No tension, no weird vibes, just pure hospitality. Her house completely caught me off guard. It felt like a real home. Everything was clean and organized, but still lived in. It smelled like vanilla and something baking. There were Ian's drawings on the fridge, toys neatly arranged in a corner, family photos on the walls. It had this warmth that my apartment has never had. While Danny and Ian started playing with Legos in the living room, I followed Mare to the kitchen and asked if I could help with dinner. She smiled and said she had everything under control, then gently suggested I go bond with the boys instead. So I did. Dinner was incredible. Mare made this homemade lasagna with garlic bread and a fresh salad. During the meal, I just observed them. Danny and Mare weren't overly friendly, but they weren't cold either. They had this easy rhythm. They'd pass things without asking, finish each other's sentences about Ian's daycare stories, laugh at inside jokes I didn't understand. What really struck me was how they parented together. Ian would ask the most random questions like, why is the sky blue? Or do fish get thirsty? And both of them would stop eating to answer him seriously. They'd explain things patiently, never brushing him off. Ian was so polite, so giggly, so well-behaved. You could tell he was raised with real love and attention. Mare asked me questions about myself too. Where I worked, what I like to do, how I met Danny. She actually listened to my answers, made eye contact, asked follow-up questions. She made me feel seen in a way that was almost uncomfortable because it was so genuine. But then I noticed something that made my chest tight. The way Danny looked at Mare when she was talking to Ian. There was this sadness in his eyes mixed with something else, something deeper. Love, real love, the kind that doesn't just disappear. And Mare, she'd glance at Danny sometimes when he was helping Ian cut his food, and I saw the exact same look, like they were both mourning something beautiful they'd lost. Danny has never looked at me that way, not even close. When we were getting ready to leave, Mare disappeared into the kitchen and came back with 2 containers of leftovers. She handed one to Danny for Ian and one directly to me. She said she remembered I mentioned living alone and eating a lot of takeout, so she wanted me to have some homemade meals for the week. That small gesture completely broke me. This woman, who should have every reason to dislike me, was showing me more care than most of my own friends do. The drive home was quiet. I kept replaying the whole evening in my head. Finally, I couldn't hold it in anymore. I turned to Danny and asked him how things ended when he had such a beautiful wife, such an amazing son, and clearly still had feelings for her. He gripped the steering wheel tighter, stared straight ahead at the road. Then, after the longest pause, he said the words that made my stomach drop. We're not actually divorced yet. We've just been separated for 8 months. We're trying to figure things out. I felt like I couldn't breathe. I asked him what that meant. He said they separated because of his work schedule, because they were fighting too much, because they thought space would help. But seeing them together tonight, I knew the truth he wouldn't say out loud. They still love each other. They're still a family, and I'm just the placeholder he's been using to avoid dealing with his real feelings. I don't know what to do now. Part of me wants to walk away. But another part of me, the part that saw how Mare looked at him and how Ian lit up with both parents there, wants to push them back together, because what they have is too beautiful to let die, even if it means I lose him.